What's going on, guys? Cameron James here. Today I want to talk about, is Amazon FBA still worth it in 2023? Why this question matters so much, especially here in 2023, is because in 2023, we're most likely going to be facing a year we've never seen before. And what I'm talking about there is the R word, recession. So 2022 was close to recession, if not a recession. In 2023, the fears are things are going to get worse. So what does this mean for Amazon FBA? Does it mean that we should stay completely away from it? Does it mean we should take 2023 off completely and stay as far away as we can, protect our money, regroup later, 2024, 2025, whatever it is? And I've been thinking about this a lot lately. So I'm going to go on screen here, go through the data of Amazon, their sales, revenue, and talk about what I think is going to happen in 2023 on Amazon. And spoiler alert, I do think things are going to slow down a bit, but let's look at the data. Let's look at all the points here. And then at the end, we can determine, is Amazon FBA a death trap in 2023? Or is there hope that Amazon FBA is still the way to go in 2023? Before we get in the nitty gritty here, guys, make sure you subscribe down below. I've been watching my YouTube analytics, and it says about like 70-80% of you guys watch, but you don't subscribe. So I really appreciate it. Even if you're new here, if you subbed, I'll make sure I keep putting out valuable Amazon FBA YouTube videos. That way, whether it's tutorials, walkthroughs, everything I'm thinking, any news in the business, that way you guys keep up to date and know exactly how to do all the little steps in this business. So I'd greatly appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button right down below. So first, let's look at 2022 here, okay? So in my opinion, I thought 2022 would be an absolute down year for Amazon FBA, okay? Just with all the fears, markets slowing down, everything like that. And there's a bajillion things we could get into with that, but essentially slow year for most stocks, most anything here. Even for Amazon, they took a huge hit here, but Amazon, to my surprise, broke a lot of records this last year. So 2022, Amazon records biggest ever Black Friday weekend sales. I didn't see this coming, right? This is only like a month or two ago. And so for them to do this in a down year, that's an overall positive sign, right? Then if we go over here to Statista here, we can see Amazon's revenue by quarter. So year over year growth here still looks positive, okay? So Q4 is not in. That's when you see these huge spikes right here. That's when Q4 hits, because Q4 is bigger than anything else. Q4 data is not in yet, it lags a little bit. But we can see here that we're still trending upward. I know it's hard to see there with how this graph works, but we're still trending up quarter after quarter from the previous year, especially after 2020 with everybody forcing to shop online. We see like this massive growth. To still see growth after that massive year, that's a positive sign as well. So Amazon actually growing in 2022 when we expected a down year, we can maybe infer that in 2023, that with all these fears coming up, that maybe it's not going to be so bad. People love to shop, Amazon's still a Goliath, and maybe fears are blown out of proportion. Well, we can't assume that. So in my head, I actually think it's better practice to think we're going to have a down year in 2023. And what are the worst case scenarios for 2023? So say you start an Amazon FBA business. And if we're having a down year on Amazon, that means less volume on Amazon, less sales for private label sellers, less sales overall on the whole platform. So yes, overall, if you start selling on Amazon here this next year, say worst case scenario, yes, you may see a downtick in your product sales when you first start. But the good news is, if volume's down on the entire platform, that means your competitor's volume is down as well. What that means for you, you can rank up a lot quicker. Let's say you have a competitor, it does 20 sales per day, okay? He's on #1 spot. You wanna rank above him so you can capture all that organic traffic for those certain keywords. We'll say volume drops, right? Say he's only doing 10 sales per day. Well, that means you only need 11 sales per day instead of that 21 to rank above him. So 2023, if it's a down year, could actually mean that will be much easier to rank up in your category and start to dominate your niche. And you actually need less advertising to do this because you need less sales. You need less inventory because you need less sales velocity to rank above them. So your startup costs are much lower. Lower volume means lower reviews overall too. So you don't have to go at this frantic, speedy pace. You can actually take your time, save a little bit of money, not have these massive advertising and startup costs to get to the top of your niche. Also, say people are fearful, right? 2023, they want to stay away from it just because how bad the economy is going to turn, all the doubts, all the fears, and this could get pretty bad. We don't know. Well, all that fearfulness is going to deter competitors from entering the market, which actually makes it easy for you to enter that market and not have loads of competition entering at the same time. So those are two positive things right there if it gets as bad as we think it's going to get. And you're probably saying to yourself right now, you're like, Cam, shut up. Like if it's a down year, we're not going to make any money. We're not going to make any profit because volume will be so down. Well, if that's true, if volume is down, doesn't mean you can't be profitable, right? If we still have good margins, if we still have the right launching strategy, we're not blowing money on PPC or anything like that, then you can still be profitable. Let's say you're not profitable. Let's say worst case scenario here. Let's say you went break even all 2023 when you launched your product, but breaking even was mostly because you were putting money into ranking up organically, right? Taking advantage of moving up to the top 5 spots for your best keywords where those organic sales come from. So that's worst case scenario. You're broke even, you're ranked up, you did what you wanted in 2023, say you didn't make a penny. Well, is that so bad? Let's think about this long term. What's Amazon going to look like in 2024, 2025, 2026, 2030? Because I still believe Amazon is at the tip of the iceberg when it comes to growth in e-commerce. We all know Amazon's one of the most dominant e-commerce platforms out there. I don't think that's going to change drastically anytime soon in the next 5 to 10 years. And we can back up our long-term thesis with some data here. So US Census Bureau news here. So this came out quarterly retail e-commerce sales, third quarter 2022. Fourth quarter is not out yet. It's super lag data. We all know this. And as soon as fourth quarter comes out, I'm sure it's just going to be positive because we know fourth quarter is always usually higher when it comes to e-commerce sales. But anyways, if we go to third quarter here, adjusted, we see retail sales, millions of dollars. So this is $1.7 trillion if we do the math here, and 265 billion is e-commerce. That's 14.8% of all retail sales are done in e-commerce here. So that means about 85% are left of retail sales are left to be taken online, right? And we all know that online is the future, right? When it comes to shopping and commerce in general, it's going to take a larger chunk of that market share year after year. Of course, it's not going to get to 100%, anything like that. There's always going to be retail shops, things like that. But 14.8%, that's bonkers. That's super low. If we get to 50%, maybe 40%, that's still trillions of dollars entering the market, right? So if we do all the math here, the last 4 quarters, it's around $5 trillion. You know, if we add up 1.7, 1.6, quickly in my head there, that's actually more around $6 trillion there for the last 4 quarters. You know, obviously including 2021 here because 2022 is not out yet. Let's say in the next 3-4 years, 10 to 20% more moves on to e-commerce as a total. Well, that's 500 billion to $1 trillion if we use 5 trillion as a whole for the market. That's absolutely bonkers. So when people say it's too late, maybe 2023, yes, will be a down year. But again, we're playing the long game. We can get ranked up on 2023 and then take advantage of that in 2024, 2025, 2026. We'll be sitting pretty with a beautiful asset that keeps growing year over year, while e-commerce and Amazon grows along that path as well. So if we look at this with a long-term lens, 2023 might be the best year to actually start Amazon FBA. That way you can rank with the lowest amount of advertising. You don't have that much competition entering because there's so much fear in the market, and you can cement your place in organic rankings for years to come and take advantage as volume moves up. But what do you guys think? This is just my opinion. There's no reason to think that I'm 100% correct here. I just wanted to show as much data here as possible, which you can get the US Census thing. If you just Google all this data, you can go find that. And obviously, guys, you have to make the best decision for yourself. But in my humble opinion, I'm thinking long-term. I'm thinking 2023 might be one of the better years to start Amazon FBA. If you're willing to be patient, if you're willing to rank up, learn the skills, take your time, and really cement your product, your asset onto Amazon and let it grow year after year with, you know, dips here and there, but overall growth. So guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. I would love everyone's opinion. Maybe there's something I'm missing here. Maybe there's some data points that I'm missing here. So let me know if you think Amazon 2023 will be okay, especially in the long term. Let me know if you think it's going to be doom and gloom. I would love to learn more for all that. And of course, guys, if you want to keep up to date on Amazon FBA in 2023, make sure you subscribe to keep up to date on all that news. Anything we learn, I'll be sharing here. All right, guys, that's it. We'll see you on the next one.